Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like something just didn't look quite right, even when your outfit was on point and your hair was freshly styled? Sometimes the problem isn't your clothes or your makeup, it's your glasses. Yes, those everyday frames you slip on without a second thought could be silently adding years to your appearance. You might be surprised to learn that some of the most common eyewear choices actually work against you, making your face look tired, dated, or even harsh. And here's the kicker. They're often styles we've worn for years, thinking they were timeless or flattering. But fashion evolves, and so does your face. What once looked sophisticated in your 30s or 40s may now be dragging your features down in your 50s and beyond. Just like we update our wardrobes and hairstyles to reflect who we are today, our eyewear deserves the same attention. Because the right pair of glasses doesn't just help you see better, it enhances your natural beauty, softens your features, and brings a modern, confident energy to your entire look. In today's video, we're diving deep into 6 outdated glasses styles you should stop wearing after 50, and more importantly, what to wear instead. Whether you wear glasses every day or just for reading, this guide will help you avoid common fashion mistakes after 50 and choose frames that truly elevate your look. From anti-aging style tips to flattering frame colors and shapes, you'll discover how simple changes can make a dramatic difference. So if you've ever asked yourself, why do I feel older than I look? This video holds the answer you didn't know you needed. Because turning 50 isn't about fading into the background. It's about stepping forward with clarity, confidence, and style that's aligned with the amazing woman you are today. Let's begin with one of the most popular and most misleading styles of them all. Oversized glasses have long been seen as bold, artistic, and full of personality. For years, they were a go-to statement piece, especially for women who wanted to add flair and creativity to their look. But after 50, what once looked edgy can suddenly feel overwhelming. Thick, chunky frames, especially in dark colors, have a way of dominating the face. They draw attention, but not always in the best way. Instead of highlighting your features, they can weigh them down, creating harsh contrast and emphasizing things like sagging skin, under-eye circles, or deep-set lines. This is especially true if your face has become slimmer or more angular with age, a natural and beautiful part of aging. The problem is when large frames overpower those more delicate features, they can distort balance and make your face look tired or even sunken. So, what's the alternative? Instead of those heavy, thick rim styles, consider medium-sized frames with softer lines and lighter materials. Acetate or thin metal frames in warm neutral shades, like tortoiseshell, soft gold, champagne, or warm gray, are far more flattering. They still make a statement, but in a way that complements your natural aging process rather than fighting against it. Remember, anti-aging style tips aren't about erasing years. They're about embracing who you are today and choosing pieces, like eyewear, that support your current beauty, not who you used to be. Here's something else to consider. Many oversized frames are designed without flexibility. That means they sit awkwardly on the nose or behind the ears, especially if you've lost a bit of volume in those areas. Ill-fitting glasses don't just look uncomfortable, they feel uncomfortable. And that discomfort often shows up on your face, making it harder to smile naturally or hold yourself confidently. If you love big frames for their personality, you don't have to give them up entirely. Just refine the shape and material. Go for a rounded cat eye or a subtle square in a translucent finish. This will keep the personality, but tone down the intensity. And remember, eyewear for older women should feel like an extension of your personal style, not a costume from decades past. Your frames should light up your face, not overshadow it. Choosing glasses after 50 doesn't mean losing style. It means upgrading it. Now that we've covered size and weight, let's move on to another surprisingly aging choice. The tiny metal frames that once ruled the 90s. Believe it or not, they're still hanging around in some drawers, but it's time to let them go. Remember those ultra-thin metal frames from the late 90s and early 2000s? Back then, they were the epitome of sleek sophistication, minimalist, lightweight, and effortlessly cool. But just like low-rise jeans and frosted lip gloss, some trends are better left in the past. Tiny metal frames, especially those narrow rectangular ones, may seem like a safe, subtle choice, But for women over 50, they often do more harm than good. Why? Because they lack presence. As we age, our facial structure softens. We naturally lose some volume in our cheeks, temples, and jawline. This means that delicate, barely there frames can actually disappear on the face, making your features look less defined and your eyes less expressive. Worse yet, these frames can give off a dated vibe. They silently whisper, "I've had these since 2003, even if they're brand new." And when we're talking about how to look modern after 50, eyewear plays a bigger role than most women realize. These old-school frames also tend to sit low on the face, which drags your features downward and accentuates lines around the nose and mouth. In short, they don't lift. And at this stage of life, we want everything we wear, glasses included, to elevate, not pull us down. So, what's a better option? Trade those tiny wire frames for something with more intention and presence. You don't have to go big and bold if that's not your style. But look for glasses for women over 50 that are medium-sized, with thoughtful design elements. A gently rounded shape, a subtle upsweep at the corners, or a soft square frame can all provide structure without overpowering. Material matters too. Instead of ultra-thin metal, try mixed materials, like a light acetate front with metal arms, or colored metals in rose gold, bronze, or pewter. These materials add warmth and a modern twist without being too flashy. And here's a little-known tip. Glasses that align with your brow line can make your whole face look more awake. That's a subtle but powerful way to create a lifted, youthful appearance, without ever touching a needle. If you're still drawn to the simplicity of tiny frames, ask yourself, is it comfort, habit, or hesitation that's keeping you there? Sometimes, stepping out of our comfort zone, even just a little, can completely transform how we see ourselves. Eyewear trends for 2025 are all about individuality, smart design, and subtle confidence. You don't need a radical change, just an updated frame that reflects the vibrant, modern woman you are today. Now that we've said goodbye to those tiny, dated styles, let's talk about something even more surprising, the color of your frames. Because even if the shape is right, the wrong color can be quietly aging your look. Black is a timeless color, right? It's sleek, slimming, and effortlessly elegant. In fashion, it's often seen as the ultimate neutral, chic, versatile, and always appropriate. So it makes sense that many women over 50 still reach for black glasses, thinking they're a safe, classic choice. But here's the truth. Solid black frames can actually be one of the most aging eyewear styles, especially on mature skin. Why? Because as we age, our skin tone changes. We often lose that youthful contrast in our face. Our skin softens, our hair lightens, whether naturally or by choice, and our overall coloring becomes more muted. When you place harsh, dark frames against a softer complexion, it creates an imbalance. The frames take over the face rather than working with it. Instead of enhancing your features, solid black glasses can make your face appear sharper, more severe, or even washed out. They tend to emphasize under-eye shadows, fine lines, and texture around the eyes, places most women would rather draw attention away from. So while black may have once felt bold and elegant, after 50, it can come across as heavy and draining. Think of it this way. The color isn't wrong. It's just too strong. So what's a more flattering alternative? Look for softer neutrals that still offer structure, but with a gentler touch. Think warm browns, deep navy, charcoal gray, tortoiseshell, or translucent hues like soft rose, champagne, or dusty plum. These shades create harmony with your natural coloring and give your face a healthy, lifted glow. This is where anti-aging fashion tips go beyond clothing, because the colors you wear on your face matter even more than the ones on your body. Glasses sit front and center. They frame your eyes, highlight your cheekbones, and define your expression. The wrong color can mute all of that. The right one can light it up. Even if you're devoted to a dramatic look, consider exploring flattering eyewear for mature women that includes a pop of color. Burgundy, forest green, or even soft amber can be just as sophisticated as black, but infinitely more forgiving. It's not about giving up your style. It's about refining it to match who you are now. And if you're worried that lighter frames won't make enough of a statement, think again. Many modern frame designers are creating styles in transparent or mixed tones that offer both polish and personality. You don't have to sacrifice impact for softness. It's also worth noting that black frames tend to be heavier, not just visually but physically. They often come with thicker plastic construction, which can feel uncomfortable on the nose and ears. Lighter colored frames are often paired with lighter materials, making them more comfortable for all-day wear. So next time you're shopping for new eyewear, resist the instinct to default to black. Step into the light, literally, and try on something warmer, brighter, or more translucent. You might be amazed at how much more open and refreshed your face looks, because sometimes the smallest color shift can make the biggest difference in how you're seen and how you see yourself. Now that we've explored how color can affect your look, let's turn our attention to a style that many consider invisible, but that invisibility may actually be stealing your sparkle. At first glance, rimless glasses seem like the perfect solution for mature women who want a subtle, barely there look. They're lightweight, minimal, and don't compete with your makeup or accessories. But here's the surprising truth. Rimless glasses often do more harm than good when it comes to aging gracefully. Why? Because they don't add enough structure or definition to your face. And after 50, that structure matters more than ever. As we age, our facial features naturally soften. The skin loses some elasticity, bone structure becomes less pronounced, and the overall contour of the face changes. Rimless glasses, by design, lack a bold edge or frame, so instead of enhancing your features, they tend to disappear completely. And when your eyewear disappears, so can your expression. Rimless frames also have a way of blending into the skin tone, especially on lighter complexions. The result: a washed-out, unfinished look that lacks the lift, energy, and presence that anti-aging eyewear can provide. This effect is even more noticeable for women with silver, gray, or white hair. Without a frame to anchor the face, there's nothing to contrast against the hair color, creating a soft-on-soft combination that can make your entire appearance fade into the background. So what's the solution? If you love the clean look of rimless glasses, consider a compromise: semi-rimless or ultra-thin frames in flattering tones. These still offer a minimal feel, but with just enough structure to enhance your facial features. Warm metallics like soft gold, rose gold, or copper are beautiful on mature skin. So are clear or translucent frames that catch the light in subtle, elegant ways. You might also consider frames that echo your face shape or brow line. For example, if you have soft curves in your cheeks, a gentle oval or rounded square frame can echo that shape and create harmony. This is one of the simplest ways to apply how to choose eyeglasses after 50, by thinking in terms of balance and enhancement, not just minimalism. Comfort is another factor. While rimless glasses are often lighter in weight, they can also be more fragile and less adjustable. Many women over 50 notice changes in how glasses sit on the bridge of the nose or behind the ears. A good, well-constructed frame, even a light one, can make a big difference in how confidently and comfortably you wear your glasses every day. And here's something most people overlook. Rimless glasses tend to emphasize the eyes themselves, but not always in a flattering way. If you're concerned about puffiness, under-eye circles, or wrinkles, going frameless can bring more attention to those areas. Glasses that suit mature faces often help by redirecting the eye upward or outward, lifting the overall appearance. Think of your frames as part of your overall expression. They should say something about who you are: elegant, vibrant, self-assured, not just disappear into the background. So while rimless frames might seem safe, they can quietly dull your sparkle, and you deserve to shine. Now let's look at a style that tries to do too much, because while some glasses disappear, others go all in on decoration, and that too can be a problem. We've all seen them: glasses with rhinestones, floral embellishments, ornate temple designs, or sparkly metallic finishes. They're fun, they're eye-catching, and sometimes they even feel like a mini celebration perched on your nose. But when it comes to elegant eyewear after 50, more isn't always more. In fact, overly decorated frames can be one of the most subtle yet damaging fashion mistakes for mature women. Why? Because they often come across as trying too hard. As we age, our style naturally evolves toward refinement. We want pieces that elevate, not distract. But when your glasses look like costume jewelry or scream for attention, they can clash with the sophistication you've spent years curating. Even worse, highly embellished glasses can draw focus to areas we'd prefer to soften, like crow's feet, temples, or sagging around the eyes. The shimmer, sparkle, and bold shapes might catch the light, but they also highlight texture and unevenness in mature skin. This doesn't mean you have to give up flair. Classy glasses for older women can absolutely include personality. The key is in how that personality is expressed. Look for thoughtful details rather than exaggerated ones. A hint of metallic at the temple, a soft pattern within the acetate, or a two-tone color gradient can offer interest without overwhelming your features. Subtle elegance always reads as confident. You don't have to announce your style with bling. It should quietly speak for itself. One more thing to keep in mind. Decorative frames are often trend-based. That means what looks fun and unique today might look dated a year or two from now. And that kind of fast fashion rarely flatters mature women who benefit far more from timeless, well-balanced pieces. Instead, opt for glasses that bring polish to your overall look. Clean lines, gentle curves, and a flattering color palette do far more for your face than any rhinestone ever could. You'll look chic, modern, and effortless without looking like you're chasing trends. Remember, the most powerful accessory you wear is confidence. Your glasses should support that confidence, not compete with it. Another reason to avoid overly flashy frames. They often make it difficult to coordinate your eyewear with your wardrobe. A pair of glasses covered in embellishments may clash with certain earrings, outfits, or even hairstyles. That visual noise can be exhausting and distracting to others. Ask yourself, are these frames enhancing my natural features or stealing the spotlight? If you want your glasses to make a statement, let that statement be one of grace and modern sophistication. Your style doesn't need to shout to be seen. After all, at this stage of life, you've already earned your shine. There's no need to layer it in rhinestones. Now that we've refined the idea of just enough, let's talk about something that goes beyond the frames themselves. Because no matter how perfect your glasses are, if they don't harmonize with your hairstyle and wardrobe, the whole look can fall apart. You found the perfect pair of glasses. They fit your face, flatter your features, and feel comfortable all day. But then something unexpected happens. You look in the mirror, and instead of feeling polished and confident, something feels off. Here's the reason. Your glasses might be clashing with your hairstyle or outfit. It's easy to think of glasses as a separate accessory, something purely functional. But the truth is they're front and center. Your frames sit right between your eyes, touching your brows, your cheeks, and your hairline. That means they don't just stand alone. They interact with everything else you wear, especially your hair and clothing. Let's start with your hairstyle. As we age, many of us change our hair color, texture, or cut. Whether you've embraced your natural silver, kept a rich brunette, or gone for a softer blonde, your hair frames your face just like your glasses do. So when the two aren't in harmony, the effect can be jarring. For example, if you wear voluminous curls or a soft bob, pairing that with oversized boxy frames can overwhelm your face. The visual weight doubles up, and suddenly everything feels bulky. On the flip side, if you have a sleek pixie cut and wear delicate rimless glasses, the overall look might feel too bare or washed out. The key, balance and proportion. Your hairstyle and frames should complement each other, not compete. A soft wave pairs beautifully with rounded cat-eye frames. A structured bob works well with a slightly angular pair. And if your hair has a lot of texture, you might consider smoother frame lines to offset it gently. Now let's talk about outfits. Just like with hair, your clothing creates context for your glasses. A woman in a sharp blazer and tailored pants sends a different message than someone in a flowing sundress or boho layers. Your frames should align with your overall style intention. One common fashion mistake after 50 is wearing trendy or flashy glasses that don't match your wardrobe at all. Think sparkly frames with a conservative outfit or too casual plastic frames with a polished dress. The mismatch creates visual dissonance and can unintentionally age your look, or worse, make it feel confused. Instead, think of your glasses as part of your outfit. Just like you wouldn't wear running shoes to a formal dinner, you wouldn't want casual, mismatched glasses to throw off a beautifully put-together ensemble. Here's where anti-aging style tips really come into play. Coordination is everything. When your glasses, hairstyle, and clothing work together, the result is a seamless, modern, and youthful look. It's not about looking younger. It's about looking intentional, elevated, and completely in tune with who you are today. And yes, this might mean owning more than one pair of glasses. Just like you wouldn't wear the same shoes every day, having a couple of frame styles to suit different outfits and moods can keep your style fresh and versatile. So the next time you put on a great outfit, take a moment to ask, are my glasses enhancing this look or holding it back? Because when your frames align with your hair and wardrobe, the result is nothing short of radiant. And now that you know what to avoid and what to do instead, let's bring everything together in one empowering conclusion. Now that we've walked through the 6 outdated glasses styles that may be holding you back, let's take a moment to reflect, not just on what to avoid, but on the powerful style opportunities that lie ahead. We've talked about the heavy, oversized frames that overwhelm your features, the tiny metal ones that disappear, the solid black styles that drain warmth from your face, the rimless glasses that fade you into the background, the overly decorative frames that try too hard, and the mismatched choices that don't work with your hair or outfit. But this wasn't a list of don'ts. It was a guide to rediscovering your style with clarity and confidence. Because after 50, it's not about chasing trends or trying to look younger. It's about curating a look that feels elevated, effortless, and true to who you are. The right eyewear doesn't just help you see better, it helps others see you better. It enhances your natural features, lifts your expression, and complements your energy. It becomes part of your signature, and when you choose it with care, it speaks volumes, without saying a word. That's why anti-aging eyewear isn't about hiding age. It's about celebrating it. It's about recognizing that every smile line and silver strand tells a story, and choosing glasses that let those stories shine, not get lost behind outdated designs. Maybe you're someone who's worn the same style of glasses for years. Maybe you've hesitated to try something new. Or maybe you never realized how much your eyewear could influence the way you feel in your own skin. But now you know. And with that knowledge comes freedom. Style tips for women over 50 aren't about rules. They're about options. Better, smarter, more aligned options. And you deserve them. So the next time you're choosing a pair of glasses, don't ask, what's trending? Ask instead, what supports my face, my style, and my confidence today? You may find that one small change, like shifting from harsh black frames to a soft tortoiseshell or from rimless to a gentle cat eye, can completely transform how you feel in the mirror. Not because you look younger, but because you look more like yourself. And that kind of beauty is timeless. Timeless fashion after 50 isn't about blending in. It's about standing tall in a style that fits your season of life, one filled with wisdom, grace, and unapologetic elegance. If you found this video helpful, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us, which style of glasses are you currently wearing? And are you thinking about switching things up? And if you're ready for even more inspiration, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for our next video, where we'll be diving into the best hairstyles to pair with different types of frames. You won't want to miss it, because no matter your age, you never stop evolving, and neither should your style. Here's to seeing yourself more clearly than ever.